Hi. Well, it's another beautiful day, though it's dark. And today I want to talk about truth. Why do I want to talk about truth? Well, because without truth, you cannot get free. And I think everybody watching wants to get free. At least I hope they do. I don't know exactly. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that in order to get free, you need truth. Not truth with anyone else, but truth within yourself. Now, why is this? Because in the depths of your mind are your secrets. And those secrets, you cover them up with lies. Okay? Because what happens is that you think you're us and that everyone else is them. And so you have an us versus them dilemma. Okay? The only problem is that everyone is us. We think they're not because we think we're in a tribe. Okay? Except we call it a country. Or even we call it a neighborhood. Or we call it our family. That's what we do. So, that's why truth is important. Now, in order to get to the point of being able to accept your secrets into truth is hard. It's just about as hard as anything you'll ever have to do. And as long as you believe that you are us and that everyone else is them, then you will not be able to turn your secrets into your truth. That is the way it is. Okay? Now, what this means is that you are holding the secrets in. You're holding them in and you're protecting them with lies. Right? That's what you're doing. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to say that that's bad or anything else, but that's what it is. And as long as you think that you are us, which you do, and that everyone else, including your wives, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, are them. Okay? And the reason you think that is because you've been taught to think that. Because your dad didn't tell his secrets to your mom. And your mom didn't tell hers to her dad or her husband or anyone else either. This is the nature of it. Only the secrets come out when? On the deathbed. So, that is the nature of the isness. If you want to get free, you have to accept your secrets into truth. And truth is so important because without it, you cannot get free because these secrets are holding on to you. Just like attachments and illusions and a lot of other things, the secrets are holding on to you and you are holding on to them with the lies. I know that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it's so true. So how do we accept our secrets into truth? Well, by accepting that we have secrets. Because you know what? Even though we may not be willing to admit it, we're telling ourselves lies. We're protecting the secrets from our own selves with lies, along with everybody else too. Okay? And that is what we're doing. The secrets won't come out until some terrible thing happens. Like you get cancer. And then you'll realize all the secrets you've been holding. Okay? From yourself and from everyone else. And there's only one way to unhold them, and that is to let go of the lies and accept your secrets into the truth. Now, I know this sounds very difficult, and it is difficult, but it's a step you have to take along the path of your spiritual journey. Now, what your secrets are, I don't know. I only know my own secrets, and that's what I'm going to tell you. I've already accepted them into truth, so they're not really secrets, but that is what it is. Now, when I was a boy, I didn't like my brother. I thought he was too whatever. Okay? I don't even know why I didn't like him, but I didn't like him. Maybe because I thought he was better than me. I don't know. Okay? I mean, it was so long ago. And so that festered inside of me. Okay? And it got in the way of our relationship. And so that is a secret that I was holding on to. I thought my brother thought he was better than me. Yeah. Which maybe he was. I don't know. But it caused the relationship down the line to get messed up. And what this means is that by holding on to these secrets, it does something to you that causes your relationships and really your whole life to get messed up along the way. Because secrets tend to fester. Like, for instance, if you love your mom, okay? No matter what she's like or what she looks like or what she does, but secretly, you hate her. Okay? Which was another one of my secrets. And even though I said, I love you, Mom, that hate, which when I was a boy wasn't really hate. It was just, she was kind of a nag, and I wanted her to leave me alone. But she wouldn't. And slowly that dislike grew into hate. Okay? And it started to affect who I was. It started to affect my relationship with my mom and my relationship with other people. And in fact, it affected my relationship with the opposite sex when I got to the point where I wanted to have relationships with the opposite sex. So that is what happens if you allow these secrets to fester. And if you tell the lies that protect the secrets, that is what happens. I don't like the fact that it happens. I don't like the fact that I had those secrets. But those are just two of the secrets that I had. There were others. I thought my dad was a tyrannical overlord. And so I kind of secretly didn't love him. And that meant that over time, my relationships with other males, including my brothers and the people I met, were twisted. Okay? Because not liking someone eventually turns to hating someone. Why? Because that's just the way it is. The more you don't like someone, the more it festers. And especially if you won't tell the truth about not liking them. And that's really so if it's your father. You know? And that it just becomes a thing that's inside of you that you cannot let out to anyone. And so you tell the lie. The lie is, I love you, Dad. Okay? And even though I told the lie, I said, I love you, Dad, the relationship wasn't good. So, those are just 3 of the secrets that I held on to from a tiny little boy. Okay? Into manhood. Now, you all have your own secrets, and you all tell your old lies about them. And so, in order to accept into truth these secrets and not tell lies anymore, or rather, love again, I would have given anything to love my dad before he died. But I couldn't. And so we were distanced. He was them, and I was us. And that distance separated us from each other, and I just couldn't bridge it. Even though I wanted to. I wanted to bridge the distance between me and my father. But I couldn't, because the lie was standing in the way. The lie is like a guardian. It guards the secret. And you cannot get past the guardian if it's been there long enough. So, now you have an idea of what I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. So, let's say you don't love your mom. Maybe she spanked you or yelled at you or whatever when you were a child. And even though you had to say you loved her because that was what was expected of you, you didn't, deep down. Okay? Now, how do we accept that secret into truth? By letting it go. I know that's very hard to do. And maybe your mom is going to have to die before you can do it, which is a terrible thing, and I don't want that on anyone. Okay? My mom died without me having accepted the secret into truth. And I still feel bad about it. And the same thing with my dad. So that's the way it is. Okay? So, in order to wake up, in order to embrace what is, okay, and live in the now, which I think everybody wants to do because that is where the freedom lies. We have to accept the secret into truth. We have to turn the secret into truth, even though it's protected by the lies. And that's not easy. But you can do it. And it starts by realizing that you are one with your mom. There is no difference between you and your mom. There is no difference between you and your dad. There is no difference between you and your brother, because all are one. And that is really what is. as long as we believe in this duality, okay, which says that I'm a separate person and they're separate people, we cannot accept our secret into the truth and then love again. When you were a baby and your mom was cradling you and loving you and feeding you from her breast or maybe a bottle, you loved her, didn't you? Yeah, of course you did. Because that is an instinct that a baby has. Okay? And your mom loved you. But as you grew up, things happened and slowly it turned into what it is. But there's a way to accept that secret that you have been holding on to into truth. And that is to accept that you and your mom are one. I can't make you do that. I can't help you do that. That is something you have to do because it is what is. Because you are a soul. And your mom is a soul too, and you're both part of God. If you accept that you are a soul, and you realize that you are a soul, you're not this flesh, this brain. Yes, you have a brain. Yes, you have flesh. Yes, you have hands. But you are really a soul. And so is your mom. And you have to, or whoever it is that you're holding a secret about. And so what you need to do is accept who you are. Once you do that, you can accept that your mom is you. That there's no difference between you and your mom. There's no difference between you and your dad. There's no difference between you and your brother. There's no difference at all. And once you do that, the secret will evaporate. Because once we realize that we are a soul and that everyone else is a soul too, love comes into being. Because you cannot not love another soul. Because that's just the way it is. God is love. And you are part of God, and your mom is part of God too. This is an emotional subject, and I'm getting a little emotional. I'm sorry about that. Because my mom is dead, and I never got the chance to see her for who she truly was. And so I lost a connection that I could have had. The same thing with my dad. So anyway, you must accept who you really are. You must accept that you are a soul. You are not just a human being. Because if you think you are just a human being, then you are missing the majority of who you are, because the human being is the tiniest part of who you are. You are a spiritual being. And that spiritual being is love. Because God is love. And he took a little bit of himself, a little bit of love, and he made it into your soul. Now, maybe you don't believe in souls. Maybe you think that you're just a brain. Well, then you are consciousness. And your consciousness is at a lower level. Why? Because you are asleep. And you must accept that you are asleep. And you must realize that you are more than that. You are more than the dreamer. I don't know how anyone can think they're not a soul, because since the beginning, we've all been told that's what we are. We've all been told that we have a soul, which is kind of a lie. You can't have a soul because you cannot possess what God made. It's not possible. You can't do it. But what you can do is accept who you really, really are. Now, I can't do this for you. And it's a hard thing to do because we've been taught since birth almost that we have souls. But it's not true. That's the way it is. And there's nothing else to say beyond that. So, you do not have a soul. You are a soul. And so, therefore, accept who you truly are. Okay? That's it. And once you do that, then the love that you are, and you are love. If you think you're anything but love, then you made a mistake, because that's not who you are. Sorry. I know it's hard. There we go. I know it's hard to do this, to see it this way, but that is what you are. You are love. God is love. And you are the light of the world. That was not a lie. And who said it? Jesus Christ. That's it. And he knew what was real. And he said what was real. But the church twisted it and couched it in terms that we could not understand. And so that's why no one really understands what Jesus really meant. Enough about Jesus. So, all you have to do is accept who you are. That's it. You are love. That's who you are. Okay? Because God is love. Everyone says God is love, and everyone says that God loves you. Right? And he loves what he made. He didn't make this flesh. He didn't make any of it. That has nothing to do with anything. The flesh was made regardless of God. He made the soul that you are. And you need to accept. You don't need to do anything. You don't have to do anything at all. You can continue living this life. And as time goes by, the misery of being a human will pile up. Okay? And I don't think you want that. So, try and understand what you are. And try to understand that these secrets that you're holding deep within yourself are ripping you apart. And the lies that you are living with, because they're guarding your secrets, are doing the same. Because you can't get close to anybody, okay, if there's a guardian in the way. So that your relationships are tainted by the secret that you're holding on to. You think everyone is them. And you think you are alone, but you're not. Because everyone is us. And it's an us versus them world. That's why children are starving everywhere. In Ethiopia, in Sudan, in Gaza, in lots of other African countries, and India as well. And there's lots of other places where children are starving. Not in the Western world, but lots of other places. And why are they starving? Because we believe in an us versus them world. We believe that's what it is, which is a lie. And as long as you believe in a lie, you walk down the street in a city, let's say, okay? And you think, I am us. And my parents and my brothers and my family and my neighborhood, that's us. That's us. And you see a homeless man sitting against the curb or wherever. And you say, he is them. So I don't have to pay any attention to him. I don't have to do anything for him. I can just keep on walking. That's what you do. And even though he may be hungry and he may be miserable because he doesn't have a place to live, it doesn't bother you because he is part of them, which you don't care about. Just like the starving children is part of them too. And as long as you believe in this duality of us versus them, you are going to suffer. We cannot help that we were born into this duality, but we can help get out of it by accepting who and what you are and realizing that everyone is the same as you, just like I have. I love everyone on earth, and the trees, and the lions, and the whales, and the squirrels, and the grasshoppers, and the ants. There is nothing that I do not love because it is all me. And if I didn't believe that, then I would be in misery because I would be doing things that hurt me. When you cut down a tree, you're hurting you. When you kill insects and wipe them off of your land so you can plant crops and spray insecticides, you're hurting yourself because they are part of you. I know it's really hard to see that because you think you're us and they are all them. And so you can discount them, just like the people of Gaza have been discounted by the Israelis. And so they can kill them easily because they think they're not part of us. They think they're them. And they call them pests. That's what they do. These pests must be wiped out. I mean, I get it. You know, I don't like rats or mice in my house, okay? And I do have a mouse or two in my house, and I accept them because they are part of me. Well, my time is coming to an end. Please try to realize that we are all one. And that the people you're keeping the secrets from are you. All right, well, I love you all because you are all souls. You are all part of God. You are the love of God. There is nothing without that. And that's it. Take care. Please share if you feel like it, and please comment if you have any questions about anything I've talked about today. Have a great life.